Hey everybody, here for Love and Hip Hop Season 5 Episode 17, which is also known as Love and Hip Hop Exposed and Unfiltered. You'll probably hear my son screaming like he crazy in the background. I don't know what his deal is. But anyway, instead of the Love and Hip Hop cast, because of security reasons, instead of them doing the reunion, because we remember like 2 reunions ago where Jocelyn and Stevie was high on something and they just started attacking everybody on the daggone stage. So, ever since that happened, Mona and her team have taken like precautionary measures to make sure that for security reasons, no violence or anything happens. So since they knew that basically everybody on the cast got beef with everybody, they did a sit down in smaller groups, which took 2 days of filming or whatever. So they moved everybody around according to the storylines or whatever. Some people didn't want to film with some people. Like Mimi was not with the ish with filming with Jocelyn. Who else? I think, well, Jocelyn didn't want to film with Tommy. We'll get into that later. But as far as I know, D. Smith, Waka Flocka, and Deb Anthony, they chose not to participate. Waka Flocka, I could kind of understand why, because he's in a little bit of hot water. Not really hot water, but, people are feeling some kind of way because of how him and Tammy's relationship panned out this season. Deb probably just figured, you know what, this ain't my cup of tea. And every reunion, there's always some shenanigans going on. I'm not with it. D. Smith made a good decision in not participating as well, because she was off the chain this season. Like I told y'all, I do not like her and I don't like Betty Idol. And I pray to God they don't come back next season because they both irritated my soul. So yeah, D. Smith made the right decision in not coming. So anyway, let's get into it. So they first started with Tommy and was asking why she came up with the rumor and said that she was banned from the reunion when she was there for filming. She said what happened was she got a call or something saying that production wouldn't pay for her flight for the simple fact that she has a warrant out for her arrest and she can't leave the state. So, Nina was like, well, we didn't have to leave the state. We're in Atlanta. This is the first time we filming in Atlanta, so everything worked out. So I'm like, okay, well, she was telling the truth. That's why. It wasn't that she was banned from the reunion. It was because she had warrants. She couldn't leave the state. And usually the Love and Hip Hop reunions are filmed in New York. So, it makes a lot of sense. But I mean, I'm glad she broke it down because I'm like, But see, all this time we thought they were having a reunion. Nobody knew that they were doing this exposed and unfiltered thing or whatever. So now we get to the castmates' thoughts on Jocelyn. KK feels like Jocelyn feels threatened by KK. Jessica Dime said that Jocelyn is miserable and insecure. Mimi says that Jocelyn has no loyalty and is a horrible person. Carly says that she needs rehab. She needs help. Jocelyn, of course, doesn't care about any of these comments. I would have to say that I agree with a lot of the stuff that people are saying, because Jocelyn is out for Jocelyn. Jocelyn only cares for Jocelyn. Jocelyn doesn't open up herself to anybody. She feels like she has to be on the defense with everybody. So, I mean, I agree with everything that people are saying. Like, she can be spiteful. She's an all-around bitch, and she owns it. It is what it is. So, we get to Carly, and Carly was hurt by the whole blackmail thing, and Nina was trying to figure out, well, what was in the envelope that you said you were going to expose her with? And Jocelyn refused to answer. Dawn refused to answer, although I think Dawn knows what it is too. They both said they're going to spare Carly because they both feel sorry for her. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't think it was ever anything in that envelope, because it's like, what don't we know about Carly? Her age? People take a wild guess. Carly 50, according to the world. Carly is 50. End of story. Where's their mystery with Carly? So, again, Mimi refused to film with Jocelyn. and because they were gonna bring her and Jocelyn together. She refused to film with Jocelyn, so production had to interview them separately. So Mimi said that she befriended Jocelyn because they were becoming friends. She befriended Jocelyn for the sake of Eva because at the time she believed that Stevie and Jocelyn were married. So Jocelyn is mostly upset with Mimi because Stevie went to go live with him. And Stevie wondered what Jocelyn's motive was for everything that she did. Like, he still doesn't get why she was running around telling lies and whatnot. And, you know, Jocelyn said that she did it to try and get the script flipped on him to get money out of him because she was tired of him lying. She was tired of him doing what he was doing. But I mean, for her to say that Promise Be Made, I mean, well, she basically used Promise Be Made as a pawn to get what she wanted, you know. And Promise Be Made is so attention starved, like, clearly, you know, it was basically like the plan kind of worked, but then it backfired because Promise Be Made told the truth. And then come to find out, Promise Be Made was in Scrappy, Kirk, and Jock's DMs. I'm like, yo, this chick is thirsty. Like, she looked crazy anyway. She thirsty. Like, and I'm pretty sure, mark my words, I'm pretty sure if Mona Scott comes out with another Love and Hip Hop, supposedly she's supposed to be coming out with Love and Hip Hop Miami and Love and Hip Hop Houston. If she does, how much y'all want to bet Promise Be Made gonna be on one of those? Or she might end up being on the next season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. How much y'all want to bet? Because she's that attention starved. And Mona, you know Mona likes attention starved and ratchet and all that. And Promise Be Made is that in a nutshell. Attention starved makes good TV. Look at Erica Mena. Anyway, so now we get to talks about the King family. And Nina was asking her, does she feel like people fear her? And she's like, no, I feel like it's a respect thing. Sass was like, you know, people respect me. They respect what I do. I'm like, Sass, what the hell do you do? Rap? Like, what do you do? Like, what? So they talked about Jocelyn digging up KK's record and showing it to Mimi, and KK is like, well, there's nothing to really show but my picture. Like, you can't dig anything up. So I'm guessing KK got her record expunged or something online. I don't know. It was said that Tommy has 32 mugshots. Tommy said that there's more. But that's her old life and she's trying to move past it. She made her mistakes. She lived. She learned to, you know, get past it. And it is what it is. So they have said that KK came dressed at Jocelyn's video release party in a burqa. And she's like, I don't even know what a burqa is. So they showed the footage and it was KK dressed like, you know, a Islamic lady or whatever. And she was like, yeah, it was me. She was like, because at that point, enough was enough. I was tired of Jocelyn saying what she was saying. I was fed up. So Jocelyn found out who she was and I think had her escorted or something like that. So they did an interview with KK and Jocelyn. And Jocelyn claimed that Stevie told her that he slept with KK at one point. And Jocelyn is basically throwing shots, calling KK a thief, and telling her to get a job. And KK is like, my job will be assigned to whoop your ass. And I'm sitting here like, Lord. So KK is like, you know what? I noticed that Jocelyn only acts this way when security is around. Because if security wasn't around, I mopped the floor with her. And I'm like, well, that may be so. Who knows? So, a lot of craziness was happening with K. Michelle. She arrived, she wasn't dressed, and she got upset when her bags were searched. So production was halted and Mona had to talk K into coming to be interviewed. So Nina had asked what her motive was for coming back this season, and K. Michelle outright said, no shame, she came back to rub her success in all of their faces because all of the ladies on the cast were the ones who were saying, oh, K. Michelle never amount to nothing, she crazy, she this, she that, and she's like, I'm on my third album, I'm selling out shows, you know, I'm doing it, and you know, and all of them tried to say that I couldn't, and I came back to show them that I could. So they were asking her about her friendship with Mimi, and she's like, I don't want to be friends with Mimi. They were asking the girls about K. Michelle. Rashida has no words. K. Michelle says she doesn't want Dom around her. And, you know, it became too much. Like, Dime is too ratchet to be her friend or whatever. And, I mean, seeing how Dime was this season, Dime was very, very hella thirsty for camera time. So I can understand it. But, you know, Dime, she always has to feel this entitlement of, I'm that bitch, da-da-da-da. And it's like, girl, sit down. So she said that K. Michelle can't hold a candle to her. And I'm like, okay, whatever. What talent do you have? I mean, Dime, you rap, but where's your single chart? Okay. So now we get to Scrappy and his shenanigans. And it's him, Betty, Mama D, and Bambi. And, you know, Scrappy thinks that Betty is a beautiful girl and that they were just hanging out. And, you know, Bambi called Betty out on it and was like, oh, you know, she's a beautiful girl, but when she ain't want to deal with you, you were all kinds of, you know, you know, names and all of that. And she's like, I don't know Betty, but Betty kept coming for me. So Betty is like, well, I never had an issue with you. Tammy, you know, Tammy was my issue or whatever. So it was getting hot on the set, and Bambi is like, the only reason why Tammy was your issue is because you wanted to be like Tammy. You wanted to do this like Tammy, and Tammy beat your ass and all this other stuff. And she's like, Tammy did not. They started arguing. So Betty left the set, and then they were talking about Dime and Scrappy linking up or whatever. And Dime said that she was joking with Bambi about Scrappy, but she saw that Bambi was feeling some sort of way, so it turned serious. So, you know, she just kept provoking her. So Bambi basically called her a strawberry thought cake. I'm sorry. That's funny. I just choked. Cause Dime and that pink hair, I can't. So, anyway, at some point, Jock was trying to date Dime, and Dime is like, I don't want no parts of you, bro. You be putting babies up in women too fast. I ain't messing with you. So, Nina asks about the wedding. They tell her that the wedding is July of next year, and, Scrappy is saying that Mama D and Bambi have a lot of similarities. They're very headstrong women. And, you know, Mama D, of course, is like, well, you know, sons marry women who are like their mothers. I'm like, yeah, you would like for him to, crazy lady. Like, you would like for him to have that type of Oedipus complex. You nasty. So, last but not least, we get to the whole Stevie and Jocelyn drama. They refuse to sit down with each other. Stevie is like, he doesn't want to be in her presence anymore because he feels disrespected. Jocelyn gets emotional and says that she feels like Stevie is a coward. Stevie is still bothered by the whole Rick Ross pictures or whatever. And, you know, Jocelyn is saying she took Stevie from the gutter and made him somebody. And I'm like, boo. Boo. I mean, despite the fact that Stevie hasn't really been relevant since the back in the day Bad Boy days, Stevie is pretty well known in the industry. Okay, like, he used to be down with Diddy and them. He used to write hits for mad people back in the day. He dated Eve at one point in time, and then he kind of just like fell off or was behind the scenes or whatever. But Stevie J's name has a bigger buzz than Jocelyn Hernandez. So how could you have taken him from the gutter when he took you from the gutter? Nobody would know who you are if it wasn't for Stevie J. Let's be honest. Like, let's not even sugarcoat. Let's keep it all the way real. Nobody would know who Jocelyn is without Stevie. So it's the other way around. Stevie took you from the gutter, Jocelyn. So Jocelyn claims that they're still married. Mimi never believed that they were married. Carly says she believed it. They asked to see their marriage license. They didn't show it. So Jocelyn reveals that her and Tommy didn't sleep together that night of that weird threesome they were trying to do, but they did sleep together some other night. And I'm like, geez, Jocelyn, you just be dipping and dodging, you know? So Tommy admitted she never slept with Stevie, but she did sleep with Jocelyn. They found out that the day before filming, Jocelyn took out an order of protection on Tommy. She did it because she was threatened. Tommy threatened to like run her over or something like that. Tommy says she doesn't care what Jocelyn says. She knows for a fact that Jocelyn called the police on her. Jocelyn denies it, but there was something that happened where I think Stevie and Jocelyn was together and they were on Peter Street or something like that. And Nina asked, well, did you try to run Jocelyn over with your car? Tommy admits that she did. So Jocelyn, of course, is getting stank with Nina, like Nina is the one to blame for all of this or whatever. And Nina's just asking her a question, you know, about the whole incident. Jocelyn, she's like, how long ago did this Peter Street incident happen? And Jocelyn is like, oh, it happened 3-4 months ago. So Nina is like, well, if it happened 3-4 months ago, why wait until now to take out the order of protection on Tommy? Why didn't you do it 3 or 4 months ago? So Jocelyn felt offended. But I mean, inquiring minds want to know, did you do this just because you knew you were filming with Tommy and you didn't want to see her? Or you did it because, you know, you felt like that was the right time to do it? I feel like she knew for a fact that they were going to try and put her and Tommy in the same room. She ain't want to be in the same room with Tommy because she met her match in Tommy. So that's why she took out the order of protection the day before to get, you know, some buzz going or whatever. And, you know, she tried to call Nina out and she's like, you know, I know you're a blogger and you're messy. And Nina is like, I'm a journalist. I have a degree in journalism. You know, Jocelyn's like, well, congratulations to you, but you still messy. And I'm like, why are you taking your anger out on her? Because she calling you out on your BS. You put an order of protection out on the girl the day before filming. Own it. Own the fact that you a snitch. Just own it. And I mean, if you felt like you was threatened, you felt like your life was in danger, okay, then just own that. You know? So, Stevie thinks that Jocelyn's love was fake. Jocelyn is like, she doesn't know how she feels about Stevie. She told him that she doesn't love him, but now she's not sure how she feels. She feels like it's over. This is like the point of no return. So on day 2 of filming, Jocelyn revealed to one of the producers that she may be pregnant. So the producer's asking her, like, well, when we get last together? Like, how did this happen? And Jocelyn was like, well, they had sex over 2.5 months ago, but since then, you know, that was it. She hasn't had her period in 3 months, but she just thought it was due to stress. I mean, stress does make your period weird, but you ain't gonna miss a whole 3 periods for 3 months because of stress. Your period may be irregular, it may stop for a month, but you ain't missing a whole 3 periods. like I said, your period will be weird, but if you're not pregnant, your period gonna show up at some point. And if after a certain amount of time you don't see that your period has not made an appearance, you need to go to the doctor and figure out what's going on with your body. So they basically, like, this is deja vu from season 1. Take her in the bathroom, let her take a pregnancy test, and it basically ended there. So I personally, I like the exposed and unfiltered segment of it better than I like the whole reunion thing, because the reunion would be heavily edited and annoying because they be editing the reunion so retarded. But I like that the exposed and unfiltered is no distractions, it's them one-on-one, and they're basically speaking the truth. So, and it doesn't seem like it's heavily edited. It seems like they showing everything that happened. So I mean, me personally, I like it. I heard some people don't like it. I like it personally. But y'all let me know how y'all felt about it. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.